All right, welcome to All Things Cinema podcast. My name is Keshav, and I am thankful to you guys for taking out time for listening to me and Ashmita tonight, where we take a deep dive into Kunj. And let's welcome Ashmita first of all to our channel.
Hello.
After thank you, ma'am, for coming back. You've been here after almost 2 months since we did Vikram deep dive,
Big- Yeah.
and people loved that video. It got to around like 9-10,000 hits on my channel, which
Oh,
is a huge
wow.
deal. And yeah, so hoping for the same on Malayankunju as well, because it involves our favorite actor, our mutual favorite Fahadh Faasil. And see,
Yes, absolutely.
with in your company, I've started to call him Fahad, not Fahad. So
Yes, it's
you
Fahad.
know, yeah, it's rubbing off on me. So today we thought that film which we both loved. It's a film which has our favorite actor, and it's a film with so many layers that it deserves a dedicated stream like this where we can decode all things Malayankunj, and it'll be fun. I hope people do participate as well in this with us. You can leave
So,
your comments on.
just say, I'm just seeing the thing on my phone. The title
Okay.
in your channel is different. It says
Oh,
Janaganaman.
oh
So you
shit.
need to change that
Okay.
first before we deep
I'm
dive.
Yes, one second. I'm so sorry. I completely, because we were so involved in this stream settings, I completely forgot to do the titling on my YouTube. So that is a very indifferent situation that I am facing for the first time in my YouTube
It's so
career.
it happens.
Yeah. So five people have joined us. I'm so sorry if you have joined Janaganamana because of the title. We are not going to talk about that today. I'm just going to change the title of the video, and we'll be, as you can see, like people who have joined us, you can see the title in this uh, uh, stream that it's going to be a Malayankunj deep dive, and just it'll take me a couple of seconds to change the title once again.
Yeah, do that. Did you go
So
alone for this movie, or did you watch it alone, or did you go
I
with someone?
went with a friend. I went with a friend, and it was his first ever Malayalam film,
Ah, okay.
and he loved it. And I am just
Yeah, do
updating.
it, do it, do it.
Okay, it's updated. The title is updated,
Updated?
and yep.
Yes, it's
Oh
updated.
God! Even in description, it was about Janaganamana. So what we did last, probably on Restream, this website, it got the same
Yes,
settings.
yes. You need to change the hashtag also.
Yeah. Okay. For now, we'll just let it be. The Oh God! Even the thumbnail. Oh shit, man! This is so embarrassing. The thumbnail has me and my name. This is so
You can
unprofessional
just
from
say,
you.
you can just take a screenshot of the stream and then put that as thumbnail
Oh
quickly.
yeah, that's a great idea. Yes, let me do that.
Should I pose?
Yeah, that would be nice. Oh, no, no, no. Do again. Okay. Okay. And we are almost done here. Okay, so you tell me, first of all, what was your experience of Malayankunj? Because this film was in the process for so long. In December, the first trailer dropped out, and the film was supposed to release in Feb, if I'm not wrong. And
And
then
it
it
was supposed to release in OTT. That's what I found out. It was
okay.
supposed to directly release on Prime because I watched this interview. Actually, I recently, like today's video is going to be in my channel also an interview reaction of
Hmm.
Fahad. So he's talking about this film only. So he said that
Okay.
the movie was initially slated to release in OTT, specifically on
Okay.
Prime, and then when the movie was done and it was finished, they saw everything and they said
Mhm.
that no, with the music and the kind of experience that the second half gives you,
Yeah.
it made more sense to to get that thrill and that feeling of claustrophobia and somebody stuck inside.
Mhm.
I mean, audience should experience that in theater. And he said something in the lines of that we really wanted to show the technicians prowess in this particular film. Like, this is literally the technicians movie, how they made the set and the camera work and all of that. So that's why they took the decision to release this.
Okay. So, for me, it was like a double dose of surprise because it was my first Malayalam film in theater which had Fahad in the lead role.
Lead, yeah.
Plus, A.R. Rahman was coming to Malayalam cinema after 28 years. So even that was a big deal because I'm not just a fan as a listener, but I'm also his influence is there on my music. Like I've studied in his college, and there's so many things
Oh, okay,
coming.
okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I've studied at KM Music Conservatory in Chennai, which is founded by A.R. Rahman. So for me, like I was so looking forward to this film, probably more than any other film. And once it came out, I had to like go and watch it. So
what?
yeah, and just the trailer itself was so fascinating in a way that you got a feeling that this has to be experienced in theater because of the whole cinematic experience you get sound wise and visuals wise. As you said, Fahad said in the interview that it deserves a cinematic experience, right?
Right.
So 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 when you went there, like, did you have any expectations already based on the trailer and whatever information we had before?
I had some expectation, like this info that okay, it was supposed to release in OTT, but they decided to release in theater. This is what I found out today because I watched that
Okay.
interview. I did not know all of this,
Okay.
but what the two videos that I had watched, three videos actually, you can say the teaser, the trailer, and behind the scenes. They actually showed how they built that set. That
Okay.
really fascinated me. There's this video of the behind the scenes of that cave, how they built it,
Yeah.
how they
Yeah.
put the camera inside, and it's
Yeah.
really. I mean, that only gave me the jitters. I'm like, my God, it looks. I mean, it looks a lot. It takes a physical toll on you also as an actor. And you know what?
Hmm.
So many anecdotes from that interview. Fahad said that there were times where the path was so narrow that only the camera could fit in. Like
Hmm.
the person, also the cameraman, like Mahesh Narayanan, did not know
Yeah.
where I am. It's just through the body movements that they were,
Hmm.
moving the camera. So, I mean, it would have been quite difficult to, shoot like that. But it's
Yeah.
so interesting to know. And I'm really glad that he decided to release this in the theater because that,
Hmm.
the second half is really an amazing experience. And I went
Yeah.
alone, but there were families
Okay.
and all. I think the movie had about, when I went, it had, the theater was like 30% occupancy. It had
Hmm.
about 30% occupancy, and my seat was at the topmost corner. I had booked that seat.
Okay.
Okay,
Why? Like that.
just like that, to experience it more, because I knew that okay, he's stuck inside that debris, and it's going to be uncomfortable. That's what I got from the trailer. So I had that expectation that I am I want to feel a little bit, uncomfortable, because that's how I'll get that cinematic experience. That is the only expectation with which I went, and I knew
Hmm.
Fafa will act. So that's the basic expectation. मतलब वो तो
Yeah.
बोलना भी नहीं चाहिए. So and I am just completely twisting and turning on my chair because, and half the time I'm like doing like this. So after the movie got over, I'm like, yeah, this is what I wanted and this is what I got. So yeah, great job, well done by the makers.
Well, I'll just as a person who understand music and sound, I'll give you a pro tip. If you ever want to enjoy these kind of films more, you should
Okay,
always select a seat in the middle and center,
enter.
not in the corners, because the sound,
Okay,
the speakers calibrate in the middle altogether. So you get the
okay,
best experience in the middle, not in the corners.
I'll
So
remember that.
since I got into sound and musically, I stopped taking corner seats. Like,
Oh,
gone
okay.
are those teenager
Gone are those
time.
days.
Yeah, when you used to have corner seats only to make out and everything. But
Uh,
but anyway, coming to the film now. So these kind of films, first of all, don't get made a lot in India. This genre, the survival genre,
survival.
and then to make something is one thing, but to execute it with this much conviction and
Right.
make us believe in that situation and the characters and the world you have created, and make us feel a part of that, is altogether a different story. And
True.
these guys are now so experienced working together. They understand dynamics so well. They blend so well together. Mahesh Nara and Fahadh Faasil. So for them, even for them, it wouldn't have been a cakewalk this time because of the
Yeah.
complexities this film
Even the
involved.
director, Shajiman, he's also part of
Yeah.
that circle only. Like they have known each
Okay.
other for quite some time. Like he has assisted in a lot of Mahesh Narayanan's films. He was the
Hmm.
co-director for See You Soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I didn't know it had two directors.
Yeah. Co-director or co-writer, sorry, co-writer.
Okay.
Co-writer
Okay.
for See You Soon. So they have been like they know each other. They are from that same circle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
and so for them to pick a topic like that, and for father to produce this film, I mean, he would have also seen substance in this film, right? Because
yeah.
Fahad is anyway known to do unconventional subjects and movies, but this was completely different from whatever he has done before, right? Completely different from what
I think
Malayalam cinema
all of
has
what
been
he does,
making.
most of them, it's all like I cannot fit this guy in a genre.
Yeah,
When it comes to Fahad, he's like he's all over the place. I feel that okay, he's doing this
yeah,
also, he's doing that also. Oh, he has done that kind of movie also. So
yeah.
what hasn't he done? Because when I see his range, I'm like, okay, he can play this biker dude from in Bangalore days. He's the cool
Mm.
biker dude over there. Then suddenly he's Shammi in Kumbalangi Nights. Then he can play Malik, and then he's like in Vikram also. Then this, so I really cannot like he can fit in any genre for me, unless and until he proves me wrong. I am going to believe that this guy can act in any kind of genre.
And that's the whole point. Like, whenever you watch his films, or his characters, every time you go and you think that, okay, that's it, this guy cannot surprise me more, because this is the extent of that. And then come the next film, he does it a time and again. Like, in Vikram, he probably stole the show among the finest of actors in India. And
True.
then this film comes, and for some reason he actually looked young also in this film. Like those Mahishinte Pratikaram days, Fahad
Right.
came to my mind. He looked kind of in that zone, and it had that feel. Maybe this film was shot a couple of years ago, something like that.
That's
Maybe, I don't
that's
know.
why. That's why. But it's with him. It's always like that. There has been. I think it has been 100% record with me that when I watch a Fahad film, after a point of time, I just don't consider only him as Fahad. I forget
Okay.
because I'm so
Okay.
involved in the character. I'm like, हाँ चलो. And then after the movie gets over, अरे यार ये तो Fahad Fasil ने acting किया है. Yeah, it's not this character because that's how powerful his acting is for me.
I'm just wondering, if and when you meet him,
Oh,
what will happen? Will you think of him as Fahad or any of the characters he has played?
also, I
uh,
feel Okay, Ashmita, breathe. First,
Yeah,
I have to remind myself to breathe because I'll be. I think he's one of those very few stars or celebrities that I'll probably get starstruck
yeah,
after if I meet this person in real life.
absolutely. Yeah, same here because he's both of our favorites. So now getting a little bit more into the film, also like these comments which have come out have nothing to do with the movie at all. I think they are your followers. They want you
My
to react to some trailer.
obvious.
So probably they have come from your. Did you like share the video and वहाँ से ये लोग आए हैं?
Yes,
I don't know.
not yet. Not yet. I haven't.
But I don't even know what Mike trailer is. Is it a South Indian film?
I don't know.
Joe Abraham producer. Okay. So let's get into the film now, and I would like people to participate in the conversation with what they felt about the film, Malayankunju, and so I've done a couple of videos already on the channel on the video, and I got a comment from somebody. It said you should also talk about the flaws in the film.
Hmm.
Uh, while I totally understand why somebody would say that, and I did not address any negatives in that review because I those were my immediate thoughts right when I had put the review, and I just didn't feel any shortcomings at the time. But I thought even if there are any flaws, probably I'll revisit, or probably once I deep dive with you, maybe in our conversation, then we can also decode if anything what we felt back at
Hmm.
that time. So
Hmm.
let's first start with the flaws of the film. Like
Okay.
at all, did you feel anything was missing or anything was anything avoided?
Now when I'm now when you mentioned flaws and I'm thinking about it at this
Hmm.
point also, to be very honest, I'm not able to pinpoint really
Yeah,
that oh my god, this was a big flaw, because I think all the information, the way it was written, like the first half is completely, setting up the entire context, how Anil thinks, why he thinks like this, and why he hates his neighbor, his job, and everything. Like he has this set pattern. He likes some people he doesn't like, and then you get the backstory also slowly, slowly, slowly. So it's literally like uh, like an onion that gets peeled, and we get more layers to him again and again and
yeah,
again. And then suddenly the landslide happens, and then it's a completely survival drama. So for me, at this point, if I watch it again, I am just basing my thoughts right now on my first watch, because I'm trying to think if at that point of time did I find something that okay it was lagging or anything. On that context, I am right now, to be very honest, not able to think of really any flaws per se, that okay no, this is a flaw, this shouldn't have been there, or it could have been done better. If I watch it again, then probably I'll be able to pinpoint it better. I need another viewing for that.
okay. So the comment that I had got on the channel about the flaw thing. So
Hmm.
let me just read it out what it said, and then probably
Okay.
we can address it that way. So it says you only talk about good things about the movie, but there are so many flaws as well. There's no empathy towards anyone in the movie. That's what he says. We are not able to root for anyone in the film. Characters other than Fahad are not etched well. So, to what extent would you agree with this point? Like, he has put up 3 points: no empathy towards anyone. We are not
Hmm.
able to root for a character, and other than Fahad, other stories are not edged well. So, would you agree with these
Firstly, I
points?
don't think we needed other stories, coming from starting from the last point, that other characters are not edged well. I think they are edged in a way how much ever they had to, because I just need to know, because Fahad is the central character. It's about him.
Yeah,
It's coming of age for him. It's his transformation. How
yeah,
his thinking and mindset is changing, and why his mindset has been like that. So it's from his point of view, it is all the other relationships. I
yeah,
don't need to know other subplot. I know enough. As a viewer, I know enough. I never felt that okay, I don't understand his relationship, why is he acting like that with this person. I know enough because
mm,
that information has been given to me. And after that, yes, because I don't know about the other characters, I don't feel empathy for them.
yeah,
And I felt sort of empathy for the mother, because she had the maximum amount of screen time after Fahad. So their relationship was shown very well, and yeah, that's it. Because when the landslide happened, I knew that mother is no more for sure. It just feels like that. Um because then if she's there, it'll be a miracle, because then he'll be even more empathetic and more humble down after, because he shouted at his mom. So but I did not I don't care about the other characters in the sense that I care about Fahad's character because it's his story, and I know enough about the others relationship with him, which is fine with me. But if somebody wants to call it like a flaw, maybe yeah. But honestly, I don't need another like 2 3 subplots for like Rajisha's character. It's enough. Like she loves somebody. Her marriage was fixed, and Jafar Idduki, who played the father, why he committed suicide, and all of that. Those are good enough information, and I can move forward with that. I did not feel like dissatisfied that okay, no,
Yeah.
I needed more information about this particular character. It's fine.
And the empathy point, I think they have like shown enough reason and logic why Fahad is, or why Anikuttan is the way he is, why he has no empathy towards the other community and the people, because of the reasons, his past and the demons that keep coming to him. So I think that's one of the main reasons, and the whole story revolves around him reforming as a person, from
Correct.
where he is in the beginning to where he's stuck in the middle, and then the whole reborn process towards
Right.
the end. So let's take the first relevant comment which has come. What's your thoughts on background actors of Malayalam in this movie as compared to other languages? So I think by background actors he means people who played supporting cast in this.
Supporting cast.
For example, his mother, or I think his mama was played by Indrans, who was there in
Indra.
Hash Home.
Indra. Yes.
Yeah, so a person who has a whole film as a lead, another hit film, is playing such a small role with so much conviction. So that was
Yeah.
so cool to see. And Jafar Idiki is such a pro now, is a veteran in every
Correct.
second Malayalam film. He's always there playing these kind of roles with ease. So
Correct.
a comment on these actors compared to other languages cinema.
I feel, what I have noticed specifically in this particular industry is that there is no, I would say, I don't know if I should use the word ego, in the way that everybody, it's like a family. I feel that, okay, someone like Indrans, who does a full film, who's the central character for Home, he's like, okay, this is like a 5 minute, 10 minute screen time for this movie. And it does not take away anything from my stature as an actor, or
Yeah.
being celebrated as a they just do it.
Mm.
Somebody like Dilesh Pothan also, who's such a amazing director and actor as well, he'll also agree to like a 5 minute cameo in a movie if somebody asks him. If Mahesh Narayana just gives him a call, oh Dilesh, come, we have this 5 minute role or 10 minutes role for you, will you do? I don't think there's any ego issue, or like no, I won't do 5 minute ka role and all. I think they're like this whole big family where they're like, ah chalo, iski movie mein I'm doing the direction, there I'll do the writing, there I'll act, and it's like this whole big bada parivar, one big joint family. So so yeah, I feel this is something I've realized in the Malayalam industry, because I've watched so many movies like Hindi and Malayalam cinema. I would say now I've watched, like I consume the most in a way.
More than English.
More than English. English, I think I'm more into series than
Okay.
movies. Um, so I never felt that this in a Hindi cinema, where a small cameo is hyped so much. It's like an event, or it's like a newsworthy thing. But that doesn't happen in Malayalam cinema. I don't think so.
Yeah. And
So
also, I think just the love for the art, the love for cinema is so much among all these people. And I
yeah.
think that's the glue which keeps them together, and they don't mind working for each other's project in whatever department, whatever role they want to,
Hmm.
keeping the egos aside, as you said. So the next comment says, I felt screenplay and character portrayal of everyone is in such a way that it's you who need to connect with, and as per your own personality trait, you feel empathy for them or not. I think
That's a
that's a
good
good
point.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for Fahad, initially I'm like I said, it's like an onion getting peeled, and I'm thinking why he is the what is the neighbor's fault? He's being so rude to them. But then you see there are glimpses where he helps them, where the ponies,
Hmm.
when it gets revealed and he's fixing the light, it's raining so heavily, but then
Yeah.
suddenly he sees that necklace, he just completely flips. I am thinking, oh, now Fahad is being so nice, he's developing some empathy, he'll start loving the girl, he'll see the child, and suddenly he flips out and just moves out of the house. So, and it sort of shows also that, yeah, this is real behavior. You don't get that, you don't alter your thinking all of a sudden unless and until a life threatening event happens like a landslide, and literally that girl, that baby's cries saves you,
Yeah.
then you realize that. So I think it's a good point that, as per your trait, like if you are really an empathetic person, I think you would view it as, in a different lens, and if you are a very practical person, then you would view this movie and the characters in a different lens, probably.
Absolutely. And as you said that in the middle he shows some signs of changing, but at the same time, then when he's out there having a meal, and then he just drops off his bowl of gravy and then asks
That
for
was
another.
such a, like, so many things are said in that one scene.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote no
Somebody's
spoilers. This is a spoiler discussion, guys.
It's a deep dive. It's a deep dive, pun intended.
Yeah.
In this film, and Girish, the film has been released for almost more than 10 days now. So I think we can do it
Yeah.
spoiler discussion, and you can leave the stream and come back once you have watched it, and I think then you'll enjoy it more. Uh,
Yeah.
so now going back a bit more, no, we talked about the flaws, possible or potential flaws, but the things that I loved first of all was, how. So first of all, anything shot in Kerala, man, it's like anything shot in Europe. It just starts looking even
Oh,
better
beautiful.
on screen, and it's just a little top village that they've selected to shoot this one at, and I mean, just the ambience it creates, and in theater, it's all the more enjoyable because all that thunderstorm sounds and the whole
Yeah.
the color tones that they have kept for the forest and everything. That little cozy village that they all live
True.
together in.
True.
I mean, uh, I've been to Kerala just once, but there's so much to explore there.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
wonder they call it the God's country.
It's a beautiful place. I want to go again and again. I feel I've explored so little, and I've been there like thrice. So
I I just went to Munnar, and I loved every minute of it. So yeah, so the location, I think that whole village in itself was a character in the film, don't you think? Because it had uh, a characteristic of its own. Just uh, the rain kept coming throughout, and how the administration people also kept warning you, and
yeah, warning
so
again.
yeah, so all these things put together. So did you also see a lot of symbolism in the film now?
Yes, yes. I think for me, I wouldn't say really in first half, of course, yeah, the warning signs and all of that was there. But the actual symbolism and subtext I got in the second half, where uh, it's like rebirth. It's Anil's rebirth. This movie is like his rebirth. And if you see, when a baby is born, he's, of course, inside the womb and all of that.
Yeah,
So if you see the entire way this film has been shot and Fahad trying to get out, it's
yeah,
literally like a baby trying to, exit the
yeah,
womb.
yeah,
And at the end of that, movie, that happens, and he's holding the baby in his arms. So I thought that was such a great symbolism, because when he falls also, and he almost, then he thinks about his dad and all of that. So you see that visual. It's almost like when you see those visuals and babies inside and the
yeah,
womb, and they show you that graphics, right? he's floating inside the womb. So it felt like that, and I thought that was a great symbolism of showing in a way that yeah, this character is getting reborn. You know, a new person is getting born through this ordeal. So that was really great.
Yeah. I mean, from the interval point on till the end, as you said, and the way they chose those colors, the
Yeah,
whole when you stuck inside, it looked like that afterbirth liquid, so
exactly.
so that made it all the more realistic in that sense. And another point of symbolism which I sort of felt was, so throughout the film, like how it's raining throughout the film. So I
Yeah,
felt and how the administration keeps giving these warnings time to time. What I felt was probably his own thoughts, that were overpowering him, and the demons. That
right.
was kind of like the ring, which is always there. And Ponni's crying every night is that administration warning coming, time and time
That's
again.
interesting. And I didn't think of it from that angle, but yeah, that is,
Yeah.
you can
And
really say that's
yeah,
interesting.
because it made sense to me in a way that, uh, it's the same baby by the end of it, that whose warnings he was ignoring, or
Yeah,
whose crying he's getting cranky about. At the end,
right,
it's the same baby's voice which ends up saving him.
right,
So it's ironic as well as it's symbolism or foreshadowing at its best. So these
correct.
people, I mean, the way they've written it, the screenplay, and all these little nuances that you pick in these Malayalam films, I totally enjoyed. Just the user experience in a way, it's so
Yes,
much more enhanced. Uh, and I think if we will watch it another time, we might end up picking some more of such
more.
nuances which we missed the first
Absolutely,
time. Yeah.
absolutely.
One more comment that came. It says thoughts on Ajay sharing national award for Tanaji with Surya instead of Fafa for Malik. I mean, it's his
See,
personal
I
choice.
feel
What we can say.
awards, yeah, national awards is like there's a lot of lobbying. I mean, that is undeniable. So I'm not surprised that Tanaji got the award, like Ajay Devgan got the award. But if you are talk performance wise, then I mean, Fahad's performance in Malik was incredible. But I'm
Yeah.
happy. I think they should have just given it to Surya, and I would have been very, very happy with that. I'm very happy that Surya won. I really, really wanted him to win an award for specifically for Surya Potru. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and
all of
even
national awards is all lobbying also. So there's a
yeah.
lot of all of this bureaucracy involved, guys. I mean, if you think it's fair game, it's not.
uh, I mean, even for Jab Him, I mean, Surya did so well in that film. So you should not have a problem with him getting it. And I don't think these actors themselves mind not winning, or they get super excited on winning, because
Yeah,
a good artist doesn't work or
to win
create
award.
art with, yeah,
That's
we don't
true.
work with that sense, because if we start doing that, we will lost the essence or the soul of the
True.
art.
I
We'll lose
agree.
the purpose. I mean, when you started, I'm sure you did not have in mind, okay, I have to get that silver play button. You just did it
Yeah,
for the
no,
love.
exactly. You
Yeah.
never, because if that was the intention, then believe me, there are much more controversial and masala topics and videos on and get views.
Yeah. So the more talk on national award. It says they didn't even consider the Great Indian Kitchen film. That could have been considered, but
That
I don't
have
know.
been really, really considered. So it's that's what I'm saying. It's really it's lobbying. You have to lobby for the
Yeah.
film. It's I mean it's not all fair game and merit, to be very
Yeah,
honest.
plus I think the biggest award for these films or anything is the love they get from the audience, right? Uh, how the Great Indian Kitchen got appreciated by everyone, pan India.
True.
I think the genuine love it got probably was more authentic than people appreciating Tanaji. But just because Tanaji got a national award doesn't make others film any less.
I
So
agree.
it's a very subjective thing. But Sharsh says film industry has become. One second, this comment has gone down now. I can't read it. But it was something about being a big family together. Something what we talked about. So now, this film. So, would you recommend this film to? So, because we do this for our channel, so of course we watch it. But would you recommend this film to somebody who doesn't speak or understand Malayalam just to go watch it? Because
I
I
would.
think this, yeah, because this film has a visual language on screen that
Yeah.
even if you didn't understand the language or even if there are no titles, I think as a cinema goer itself you can enjoy it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely recommend this for
Yeah,
someone
because
because even the second half also there's barely any dialogue. It's
yeah,
more of his body language, his expression, and you know what is happening. Like at that
yeah,
point of time, you really don't rely on the subtitles. It's the visual that intrigue you.
yeah. I mean, when Nona said he hadn't seen the film, I wanted him to still watch it even without subtitles because it's visually so interactive that you probably don't really need a lot of subtitles to help you out. But so many requests coming for you to react, but I mean, this is not probably the right forum. I don't even know whether Ashmita will remember all these comments, what
Ah,
all people ask me to react on. Mahesh Narayan's next movie, they are asking, and then that Mike trailer somebody said, and some album
like
also.
trailer and Mahesh Narayanan. Anyway, no, I'll get those in my comments also. So
So Ashwin Paul says, I watched Malayankunju in almost an empty theater. Was really sad to know that most of the people are ignoring this film. I think so. What happened was Malayankunj released with Mahavirya together, and in Mumbai, as far as I remember, Mahavirya was done in a week, but Malayankunj stayed for another week. So I think that sort of speaks volume for the fact that the film must have done better than Mahavirya, and also it was probably getting some
last
capacity.
year, so I was like me and one more person. First, I got scared. Okay, it's just me. But after 5 6 minutes, another person walked in. But for Malyan Kunya, I had like a good, you know, good audience.
I had like almost 65-70% capacity crowd in that theater,
Wow.
and most of them were Malayalis actually, because when the interval happened and I went out, everyone was coming out in a lungi. So I knew that they are from, or
Yeah.
maybe
So
they
see,
could be,
when I watch, when I go for these movies, I feel nobody talks in Hindi in when
yeah,
the interval happens. So I get the feeling that okay, I'm the only non-Malayali speaker in this theater.
yeah. Yeah. So Sharsh says, I am pushing every single person to watch it. You have a lot of redemption movies, but this is literally a rebirth of a person
Yeah,
halfway his life. So yeah, and we should not, just because it's a Malayalam film, we should not be refraining ourselves from recommending it to people who don't understand or speak
right,
Malayalam, because that's how people will get exposed to these things. Otherwise, they will never. Otherwise, all those misconceptions and perceptions that are there all these years, that South Indian films are only that one kind of action films where one guy is killing 100 people. So those are the notions which most of the people in North have South films because of what
that's
they've watched on Sony Max channel.
yeah,
Yep, in all those dubbed films. So I think these are the kind of films that can change the perception, and
true,
we do it for our YouTube channel, so we have a better understanding. So I think it's up to us only to make more and more people aware of these things. And talking about redemption, like how you said that you didn't expect his mother to be alive. What I felt was life coming full circle, because if you remember, he keeps blaming his sister for the father's death, and he says that
yeah,
I didn't let my mother see the dead body of my father. So it
correct,
was only fitting at the end that he didn't want to see his mother's dead body, because Just like how he felt that his sister was responsible for father's death, now he was responsible for his mother's death. He and his
That's
ego and his arrogance, because he wouldn't let his mother also live with those community people. That
right.
was the reason why she ended up dying. So now,
That's true.
and he has to live with that guilt forever
He has
now.
to live with that. There's no other option. He has to live with that. When he went to that, when he was brought in that stretcher, and then that and the background, that announcement happens that okay, these many people only were alive, rest all have died, and then he
Yeah,
starts crying. Oh my god, that's such a fantastic scene. Really
yeah,
well directed.
yeah, and for like that comment said, you couldn't root for anyone. One part of me inside said that, oh God, let his mother be alive. Like, I don't want to struggle even more seeing her dead or anything, because he has already struggled so much being stuck in the landslide, and uh, uh, he's already a changed man. You can see, because he's the tone of his shouting pony has changed. Like that,
Yeah.
that is that is the testament of his change of heart. In the first half, he's shouting pony in a very different manner, or
Yes, true.
shouting the names of those people in a different. And by the second half, he comes from an Amrish Puri to Alata Mangeshkar. He's like the tone is completely changed. So. I was rooting for his mother, for him as well, in a way, that let her be alive and let there be a good happy ending. But I mean, this is not Bollywood. This is Malayalam cinema. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be more realistic, and of course, she died.
I was
16 people
pretty
died.
I was pretty sure that she's no more. I was pretty sure that she's no more.
Well, I think overall, uh, other than these departments of acting and direction we've talked, what did you feel about A.R. Rahman's music in the film?
I loved it. I loved it. And I think I the last A.R. Rahman musical that I listened to was the Disaster Hero Panti 2.
Oh,
So I
okay,
was like, what? I mean, I want to delete that memory. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to remember that I was A.R. Rahman, giving the music. But
Well,
he
he
totally
he
redeemed
he has
himself
to
in that.
pay he has to pay his bills as well, so he did Hero Panti. but, uh,
No, do
but
music
this
for that movie, but the music itself was so bad. Like the songs were so like unbearable. My God. And that rarely happens with me when I listen to an A.R. Rahman song. Like it's a grower for me always. I might not like it the first listen, but I eventually become addicted to the song. But this did not happen for this particular film. But then he
yeah,
redeemed himself with Malayankunju, so I'm
I
I'm
just
happy.
as a musician, I felt at a couple of places
You
like
can give a
music
better.
was, yeah, I felt at a couple of places music was a bit like they could have left those scenes to sound design and foley and ambience and everything to create that effect even more on audience. So maybe a little bit of spoon feeding with the music, a little bit of overdoing with the music there. Of course, the music was good, but you have to be careful where to put music and where not to, because silence plays such a big role in
Right.
these kind of films, just to
Can
create
I
that.
comment on
Yeah,
that? Because I
yeah.
recently watched that interview now. So they actually talked about this thing. So Fahad said that for him, he doesn't know anything about music. So for him, music is either to take the story forward or it is for an escapism. Like
Okay.
it escape, you can have a bit of an escapism and then you can come back to the story. So
Yeah.
they were actually contemplating if to put music in this film or not.
Oh,
uh, so they said that should we just do the sound effect, should we keep it silent for the second half, or should we actually make it musical? And then they finally came into the decision that no, they want to keep it musical. So that was also a debate whether to actually
yeah.
add music or not to the film, because
And
I feel both would have worked. Both would
yeah,
have worked for.
and to get A.R. Rahman on board, did you know that story? Like, so Rahman was in Dubai,
Yes,
and
I know.
Fahad went and met him, and he said, "No, I have no time right now," and he said, "Just watch the movie,
Take
or
as much time. He took
just
7 months.
watch it once." And
Yeah.
the reason why he said yes, he said, I would have ended up becoming a radio electrician if not a musician. So I related to that guy because that could have been me, because
Hmm.
he was that also before he started doing music. So he said
Oh,
I could see myself in that. So I think that was one of the reasons why he, and of course, of course the film is also good. It's he also said something different. I haven't done it in a while, because 127 hours, if you remember that James Franco film,
yeah,
survival
yeah,
drama. So that was
yes,
also Rahman. So
right.
he hadn't done something like that in a while. So yeah, so I think score wise it was apt, and just the places I felt it was overdone. Otherwise, songs also, like there were no unnecessary songs, like that
I
a couple
agree.
of places where the songs are there and it's not full length songs. Also, they're just put there for taking the narrative forward.
Right.
So yeah, and special mention to that behind the scenes video that you were talking about. I have seen
Yeah.
it, and I included it in my review as well, because they can actually make another documentary just on the behind the scenes of this film.
On the behind the scenes, exactly, and I would
Yeah,
love to watch it. I would love
yeah,
to watch that.
yeah. Because I had no clue that it was all done on a set. Because
Same.
yeah, you can't make it. You can't
It's
make it
so good.
with
It's so well
yeah,
done.
yeah. And just the whole process that they've shown in that 5 video of BTS, it's so fascinating. The amount of efforts and the manpower and the man hours they put in that,
True.
that is so commendable. I mean, just for that, I felt that I'm so happy that I went to theater, paid for the ticket, and watched this film rather than just
Exactly.
sitting waiting for it to come on an OTT or anything. Because that kind of appreciates the efforts that all these crew and people have put in that film.
True.
So yeah, and these kind of films do take time to come out as well. So it's very understandable why this film hasn't been in production for so long, and release also kept delaying. Uh, we'll just wrap it up in a few minutes. So one
A
comment
lot of
says Fafa's career best performance was in Anayum Rasulam. Have you seen that film?
No, I have not. Rajiv Ravi, na? I know Rajiv Ravi's film, but I have not seen it.
I think that is the film in which Andrea is the lead character,
Okay.
Fahadh Faasil. I have become a fan of that mother actor Jaya Kurup. She was at par with Fafa. Yeah,
That,
absolutely. I mean, she.
her name is Jaipur because I mentioned that in my review that I loved the mother, but I did not know her name. I couldn't find that in
Yeah,
like IMDb at that point of time. Okay, Jaya Kurup. Now I'll remember. She was very good. I liked her.
she was good, and everyone, just like we were addressing the background actors point. Like the sister was, she's another top
Yeah,
actress, and
Rajisha Vijay.
yeah, uh, she did a small part with Conviction, and
There was
we've got
Arjun Ashok, and literally for like he was like a glimpse. He comes in
yeah,
first, and then at the end when they are taking care of him in the hospital. So
yeah.
yeah, they were nice. Really like the mother.
What are the lessons you feel which this movie tried to portray through its story? Like anything you learned from this film, or anything you took home?
Mm, It's never too late to change. I feel that. But of course, you shouldn't
Yeah,
be in a
I mean,
life-threatening situation. But people are capable of change. I feel people are capable of change. Uh, so, but you need that support system. Like the mother tried, and that's why I feel like there was a little bit of change when he went to Poni's
yeah.
house, trying to fix the light, and then again he flips
But
out.
did you
But
think
you
did
see,
did did, did you think he was genuinely doing it, or was he doing it only for the sake of his mother, who was so considerate
both.
about how?
I think combination of both. Like
Okay.
because he went there to the house only because of the mother, but then when he fixed the light and all, you could see that no, he's doing it out of his own willingness. Like he wants to help because that's his forte. So he likes being useful that in that way. I felt.
Did you at some point feel any sort of personality disorder with him, because the changes were so quick, especially uh, when
Could be.
he sees
I mean,
that necklace.
he could be because see, the thing is, he's the only one who saw the father's body.
Yeah.
Even the sister did not see it, and
Mm.
that's like a big shock. That's a trauma that he literally did not talk out talk about it with anyone. That's what I'm assuming, because it's not shown in the film, and you can assume that from his behavior, and that resentment that he has built
Mm.
for a particular community because of that one incident. So that stays with you. So what changed him? He was a certain kind of person. A traumatic event changed him into probably a bad person or a negative human being, and then to change him back, he probably needed another traumatic event like this. So yeah,
Not.
it's all extreme. It's all
Yeah.
extremes that, because it's working. There's no I mean, that I'm not saying that's a good lesson, but the thing is that it's as realistic as it can get, because traumatic events change you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for
I
the better,
mean,
for the worse. So
it, it's
that's
a,
the
it's a,
only thing that I take away from it.
it's of course it's a fictional film. They had the creative liberty, but as you said, like something of that extent had to happen for him to change, because his
Yeah,
father's death made him like that,
yeah,
and then his own rebirth changed him. So
yeah.
death and birth, two extremes,
Two extreme.
opposites. The
Exactly.
so and how fitting was it that when he comes out of that hole, I think it was his brother-in-law, right, who was there at the hospital as well. When they are taking care of
Sister
him.
and brother-in-law, both
His
of them were there.
Yeah, the brother-in-law who was from the other community, who runs away
Yes,
with his sister, and now
yes,
it's kind of like homecoming for him, right?
right,
Because of what happened. So yeah,
correct.
last couple of comments. Nowadays, Malayalam audience bored with continuous natural and reality movies. Okay, they were missing mass commercial movies, and success shows this.
Yeah,
I don't think this is a
I think
mass
that's why.
commercial.
No, this is not. So they want movies like that now. That's what I feel with the comments also that I read. Like Karuva was that's why it was so anticipated. Like people wanted to see Prithvi Raj in that Masi avatar, and that's why it did so well also in the box office.
Hmm. Okay.
So people want that.
And just answering the lessons I felt was, it's never too late to have ego and compassion, not ego, sorry, empathy and compassion for another human being, and that's what probably I think that's what they also want to teach it from this movie. Probably that's the undertone in this film, that it never. I think I read a quote somewhere, heard it in an interview, that somebody said that it takes equal amount of it consumes equal amount of energy to be rude to anybody or to be kind to
Nice.
anybody.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, you
Your
always
own
have the choice.
right.
And then karma has its own ways of getting back to you, and that's what happened in this
I
film.
fully believe in karma. I fully believe in karma.
Yeah, and this film also, sort of enhances that, because
Yeah,
that whole landslide felt like a karmic effect on just
true.
at an interval block, he goes down. By the way, were you surprised by that sudden event when he goes down? Like
Yeah, yeah.
there was a little bit of build up, but then that was
Like
like, oh
I
my
knew what
god.
was coming, but it happened so suddenly. So yeah, it was done really well. That shock value,
Yeah,
because it is coming, but you don't know when exactly that
yeah,
landslide is going to happen. But then it suddenly happens out of the blue. It was very well done.
yeah. And before going into the movie, I was expecting it to be like a 2 hour survival drama only, like based on the trailers and everything. I thought, like, in the beginning he'll get there, and then the stories about him getting out. But I think the first half in itself is a different movie, right?
Different
uh,
movie.
yeah, and the second half is in itself is a different movie. So that was like altogether a different experience. Okay, so I think we are almost done here. Josh has also told us that in Prithvi's Adu Jeevitam. Check out the promo
Okay.
of ARR visiting the set. You'll be shocked to see Prithvi's weight loss. Okay, so I think new
They
movie
are
for
the
new,
fittest actors I have seen
yeah,
now.
and a new video
Malayalam.
for you to react.
I have unginat videos to react. I have to pick and choose what to react to. I have to
Yeah.
be very, very choosy. I can't react to everything. The list of requests are endless.
Okay. What's your expectations on Alphonse Putran Prithvi World movie? These are some different topics we were for our deep dive on Malayankunju. We'll talk about that later. Again, Anyam Rasulam has been recommended, so probably we'll watch it and do our respective reviews on our channels sometime. So, yeah, thank you, Ashmita, for joining. It's almost been an hour, and
Yeah.
all the first 10-15 minutes went into a frenzy when we're figuring out the stream and my YouTube fuck up. But other than that, very enjoyable conversation as always,
Yes,
And
yes.
with Malayalam cinema, it's always there's so much to talk about, which we probably don't really include in our reviews, like short reviews. So these kind of sessions always bring out new points that probably we didn't.
Yeah, because we can then discuss with spoilers. In reviews,
Which,
we
yeah,
really cannot, give out these
yeah,
nuances because
absolutely.
then it'll be all spoiled.
And also, people, if you have come from Ashmita's channel, I am like 40 subscribers, close to getting to 5,000. So
Oh,
if
yes,
you are from
you are.
there, then please press that subscribe button so I can reach 5,000 quickly. And if you have come from my channel, I'm sure you already know Ashmita. So there's no need.
ऐसा कुछ I
Yeah.
always say that ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
So yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll come back again with another deep dive for another film which we would think deserves a deep dive like
Yeah,
that, where we both are in love with that film as much as we were in love with Vikram or Malayankunj, as these sessions
yeah.
we keep doing. And yeah, thank you for watching All Things Cinema podcast. Thank you for joining us in this conversation, and